great for rising. Black youth, lock your locks into your mind. Lock your locks within your brain. You see, once you get something in your brain, it's hard to get it out. So lock your locks into your mind. That way, if you're forced to shave your head or somebody force your head, you will still have the benefits of your locks. Black man, I'm suggesting to you that you lock your locks into your mind. Let me tell you why I say that. Black man, come beneath the crust and come off the defense. Look at this, and I come back with my views.
Zero tolerance to rascality in Mina. Anybody that you find with a barber or dreadlock, arrest him, barb his hair, and find him.
Black man, this is Niger. Niger, the governor of Niger has decreed that anybody wearing locks will be arrested. Yes, I said Niger. Niger, Africa. Niger, people, Africa. Dreadlocks are rooted in Africa. I'm going to tell you the importance of your locks. I'm going to tell you why your locks are feared. And then I'm going to come back with some history of locks. So first thing, young folk, ask yourself, what's the real reason someone would pass a law against your hair the way it grows out of your head? I mean, the way that God made it grow out of your head. Realize this, young black folk. Anytime anybody passes a law against your personal self, that means you are power. You are power, not just powerful. You are power, which means you're capable of doing powerful things. You see, your hair growing out of your head is not just powerful. Your hair growing out of your head is power. And connected to you, you become not just powerful, you become power. Black youth, lock your locks into your mind. Because as I said, once you get it in your mind, it's there. And if anybody forces you to shave them off or cut them off, the power they give you is still with you because you have locked your locks into your mind. Why would anybody go through all these lengths to pass laws against your hair that grows the way God intended it to grow? It has to be a reason. What's the reason? Why? Ask yourself that, young folk, young black folk. Now, sometimes I wear a fro. A fro is how my hair grows out of my head. If I don't do anything to it, if I don't pick through it or comb through it, it locks naturally. I don't have to do anything to my hair to make my hair lock. I don't have to put anything on it. It naturally will grow into locks. So think about this. What's so powerful about the way your hair grows out of your head naturally, young people, that it frightens the so-called superior people? Why would the superior people be so obsessed with altering the inferior? Why? Nothing the inferior does should bother the superior. Nothing. I'm going to go to the Bible. Now, I'm not trying to push Christianity. The reason I'm going to the Bible is because it said that this is a God-fearing country. It said that this is a Bible-believing country. As a matter of fact, didn't Donald Trump say that if Joe Biden got elected, that Joe Biden was going to destroy the Bible, destroy Christianity or something like that? So you see what I'm saying? This is why I'm using the scriptures. Because according to the so-called leaders and just regular Joes, we are a Bible-believing country. So if we are a Bible-believing country, shouldn't we be judged by the scriptures? I'm going to the Bible and give you some scriptures. A while back, EOC filed a suit on behalf of Chastity Jones against a catastrophic management solution. Chastity Jones wanted to wear her hair natural. Chastity Jones wanted to wear her hair the way God made it grow out of her head. She wanted to do this in this God-believing, God-following country. So you're telling me, Bible-believing people, you're telling me that God made a mistake? Somehow God got it wrong when he made Chastity Jones' hair grow out of her head and locks? Now this went all the way to the courts of appeal. Those Bible-believing people who sits on the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for the Southern District of Alabama. Judge Charles R. Butler Jr. presided. Those Bible-believing people said God was wrong and how he made Miss Jones' hair to grow out of her head. The 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for the Southern District of Alabama. Judge Charles R. Butler Jr. presiding said that catastrophic management solutions were within their rights to refuse Chastity Jones employment because of her wearing her hair the way God made it grow out of her head. He said God was wrong. He said God was wrong. Well, they said God was wrong. So you mean to tell me something is wrong with Chastity Jones wearing her locks when this is how God made Chastity Jones' hair to grow? Now you keep in mind, we're in a God-fearing country. Now here God is talking to Moses and telling him to tell this to the people of Israel. Numbers 6:5. This is from the Bible that the God-fearing country says it believes. King James Bible. That's what I'm reading from. It says, all the days of the vow of separation, there shall no razor come upon his head, until the days be fulfilled, in which he separated himself unto the Lord. He shall be holy, and shall let the locks of the hair of his head grow. So what's the problem, Bible believing, Bible living America? Right here in the Bible that you say that I should be following, that you say you should be following. So what's the problem? You see what God told Moses to tell the Israelites? He shall let the locks of his hair grow long. Come on beneath the crust and deal with it. Young brothers and sisters, old brothers and sisters, right here in the book, we are told governs us. It says our locks should grow long. So what were those God-fearing, godly men on the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals? They was in southern Alabama, the Southern District of Alabama. Judge Charles R. Butler Jr. presiding. What were they basing their decisions on when they said this company was within their rights to make Chastity Jones cut off her hair from the way that God made it grow out of her head? Did they not know what the Bible says? Did they not care what the Bible says? Do the men on the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for the Southern District of Alabama, Judge Charles R. Butler presiding, even believe the Bible? Do they even believe the Bible? Or is it that the Bible is only used to control black folk? But that's a whole nother podcast. Now let's go over to Judges. Judges 6:13. Samson and Delilah. This is from the Bible that this God-fearing country says it believes in follow. I'm sure you've heard the story. If you haven't, here it is in a nutshell. Samson was a strong man. Samson had locks. Samson's strength was in his locks. Delilah was working with the Philistines. The Philistines wanted to know where Samson's strength lies because they wanted to defeat him. Samson's strength was in his locks, but at first he wouldn't tell Delilah where his strength came from. 3 different times he told her a fake strength source, and each time she'd say, the Philistines be upon you. The Philistines would run in, they would grab Samson up, and Samson would beat them this way. Samson would beat them that way. Samson would beat them every which way. And Delilah would have a fit. She told Samson she just couldn't believe that he had betrayed her like that. She wanted to know where his strength lies. Does that sound familiar? That folk, and I'm talking about black folk, who's supposed to be working with you, are secretly working against you. Does that sound familiar? So now by this time, Samson knows her intentions. He knows she's against him. Sounds familiar again? We know their intentions. We know they're against us. But Samson appears to have begun to feel guilty for his gifts from God. Black youth, don't feel guilty about your gift from God. Samson began to feel ashamed for Delilah's shame. Doesn't that sound like us, black youth? Taking guilt upon us that's not even our guilt. Taking shame upon us that's not even our shame. Doesn't that sound like us? Doesn't it? Finally, Delilah cries so, and Samson said to her, if you weave the 7 locks of my hair with a web, and fasten it with a pin, then I will become weak and be like any other man. Judges 16:13. This is from the Bible that this God-fearing country says it believes. Delilah did that. And you know she said the Philistines be upon you, Samson. The Philistines rushed in and Samson mopped the floor with them. Beat him up. And then Delilah says, now she's crying and stuff. She says, Samson, why, Samson? You've made a fool of me. Black man, have we gotten too comfortable with our heads in America's lap? She said, now, why, Samson? Why don't you tell me the truth? You don't trust me? Delilah asked Samson to come put his head in her lap. So, of course, now she's soothing him, stroking him, caressing his face. Sounds familiar, black man? This is what America does to us. Be sure to come back now for my podcast, Head in the Lap of the Enemy. Now, verse 17 in Judges, it says, and he told her all his secrets and said to her, a razor has never come upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite to God from my mother's womb. If my head is shaved, then my strength will leave me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. Are you paying attention, black man? The strength left Samson when his locks were cut off. Is this why America wants to cut your locks? To weaken you? Delilah shaved Samson's head. And then Delilah said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. Samson jumps up, but his locks have been taken away. The strength that his locks provided is no longer there. So the Philistines beat him to a frazzle. Just beat him up. But then, even though they realized that cutting off Samson's locks had taken away his power, they still poked his eyes out. They poked him out. You gotta come back for the head and the enemy's lap. You just got to. I go into more details on the fear of the black man. The Philistines poked Samson's eyes out because they realized that he could still see them. They had taken away his physical power, but they were so intimidated by him, they felt so inferior to him, that even though they took away the source of his physical power, they still had to try to do something to keep him under their feet. Later on, Samson's locks grew back, and his strength came back, and he destroyed himself along with the Philistines. The point is, young brothers and sisters, think about this. Samson's locks gave him strength. Your locks, young brothers and sisters, are so powerful you don't even realize. Once you come to realize it, your mind is going to be elevated. That's why I suggest to you that you lock your locks to your mind. See, we were dealing with the physical locks with Samson. They're dealing with the physical locks with you. But go beyond the physical locks and have mental locks. See, that way, if Bible believing America forces you to, by law, to physically remove your locks, the power your locks give you will still be in effect. Remember, black youth, remember this. Nobody at all spends so much time and effort on a method or nobody. Nobody spends a whole lot of time and effort on something that has no barriers or threats to them. I want you to keep that in mind. And you come off the defense. There are links to dreadlock history in the description. Black or duck, you allowed Bible-believing America to deny your child that God-given right to wear their hair the way God intended. Why did you do it? Subscribe, comment, like, and share. Support our youth in any way you can. Keep on churning till the butter comes. Albert C. Richardson, a black man, patent the butter churn U.S. patent number 446470, February 17th, 1891. I'm Lily Bayer. I'm just trying to create a dialogue. I leave you with this. If they close my book, you remember my story. A Nat Turner Runner production. Lock and load. Lily Bayer. Be encouraged.